That works.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it again on the way over. It's just the only time I think about it is I said I need to get a sign made. And I wish I had some spare cash because I'd like to get a neon sign made.
Well,
Nothing big, nothing, elaborate, just something short and simple.
I already told you my idea.
What, LED lights behind it and all that
Behind
shit?
it,
Right,
yeah.
we could do that still too.
It'd be
But
fucking dope.
I was like, the whole vintage look of neon I think is cool.
You
I've
just-
always
you
liked
just-
it.
You just want to be like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's why I got the general idea. I said, but it looks I like the nostalgic.
Appeal of it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It looks retro as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, obviously it's been a long time since I've been to Six Flags, but Six Flags had that old school McDonald's like look to them, like the walk-up window. Do you remember?
No.
But this is like back in my high school days. It's probably, I don't think it's there anymore, but they had a vintage-looking McDonald's in there with the old golden arches and the neon and the hamburger dude.
Shit was yellow, not gold.
It's golden arches, man.
Alright. So we ready to do this?
Yeah, I thought we were going.
Start now.
Welcome back, guys.
To another episode of
Sarcastically Serious.
I'm your co-host, Sean.
And I'm James today. And we're here.
Here we are.
It has been a minute.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Dude, so we're having issues fucking uploading stuff. 2 podcasts ago that we've recorded is uploaded on YouTube only. Haven't even promoted it on our Facebook. And then the last one, hadn't even tried because I wanted to get this one done first.
We're trying to keep everything chronically in order.
Yeah.
Chronically.
Chronic.
The chronic. And,
That was the year 2000 by Dr. Dre.
yeah. I remember when that CD came out.
I do too. I got in so much trouble.
It had
The pot
leaf on it.
No,
yeah.
I got in trouble because it was my mom's boyfriend, which was a cop. I'm not going to say his name, Bill.
Cosby.
And anyways, he had this cool-ass Camaro that, he promised me when I turned 16.
When he was only going to hang out for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. No, it wasn't year 2000. It was earlier than that.
It
'Cause
was
I wasn't
2000.
driving. No.
I know, but it came out 2000.
The
album?
I wasn't driving. Look it up, bitch.
You had to have been driving in 2000.
I was not.
You legal age. I don't know if you physically were.
I was not driving when that CD came out. Look it up.
Dre, 2000.
God dang it! Look it up.
I know. Are we still talking about the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck.
You see what he has to deal with? You see what I have to deal with?
Anybody else? with me?
Jesus, Pete.
Like, look it up. Anyways, he let me borrow the CD without. He said I can borrow it, but he is not giving me
2001. I am so sorry.
No.
That's the album we're talking about, right?
It is, but it came out before that. Something. Look up another.
I'm pretty sure this is right. It's the internet.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I was not of driving age because I still lived with my dad.
Because you're how old? 41?
2.
I'm 37. I was in 6th grade when that came out, I believe. Because it was like the latest and greatest of, you were the cool kid walking around school with that CD in your backpack.
All right, so The Chronic came out in 1992. And that one, that's the one I'm talking about. Because the CD looked like the one that came out in 2001, maybe.
I don't remember the cover of that CD.
All right, it's not the cover, it's the actual CD itself. Like the
it's printed on it?
sticker on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so The Chronic came out in 1992.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I borrowed that.
That was his first solo album.
Yeah. And anyways, I took it home to my dad's house put it in my CD player, put my headphones on, went to sleep. Apparently that night, my dad went out drinking with one of his buddies, and he came home, and I had rolled over, and the fucking cord unplugged from the CD player, and I had it full blast. So it was like N-word, bitch, fuck, just hardcore.
Yeah.
My dad walks in the house and hears that shit blaring. He's like,
"What is this bullshit?"
he goes walking down the hallway, and my dad's, describing it to me, and my stepmom's just dying laughing. My dad's like walking down the hall, like, yeah, ooh, like a fucking idiot. I was like, damn, I wish I was awake to hear that shit. But he goes in there and he turns the shit off. And then the next day, I'm getting in trouble for this song or this CD.
Mm.
I'm like, Bill, let me borrow it. So dad confronts mom. She's like, I'll talk to him. And then she confronts Bill, and Bill's like, nope, I didn't let him borrow that. He must have took it. What a fucking
Did he let you
dick.
borrow it?
He did let me borrow it, but he said he will let me borrow it, but he is not letting me borrow it. So basically, he will not take the blame if I get caught with it, and I get fucking caught with
He
it.
turned into a politician?
By any chance? No.
Right.
Might as well been.
But no, so
Speaking of music, pull it up. The new controversial song.
oh no, I haven't even listened to it.
I have. So pull it up. We'll listen to it.
Okay.
We'll listen to it together. This will be James's first impression.
Yeah. Are we gonna listen to the whole
No,
song?
we can't. For
we can't listen to it at all.
no, we can listen to snippets here and there.
You
Yes,
sure?
that's what everybody else does.
Okay.
But we're not monetized. We're not making any money. So by the time we ever get to that level, we'll be fucking 82. This song will be 40 years old. I mean, this podcast will be
All
40
right.
years
So we just
old.
want to hit play and let it roll,
Um,
or do you? Is there?
yeah, right off the rip, it starts.
Okay.
So
Here we go.
I'll tell you when to
track
pause
the
it.
price of your flight. So
What?
I'm gonna disconnect that for a second.
Yeah, so we don't have to listen to the bullshit. You should have went to Apple Music or something, bitch.
I don't have that. I ain't rich.
Oh, well, I got it, but my phone's...
Indisposed.
Yeah. Let me just make sure everything is... Hold on. Pause it. I just want to confirm.
Yeah, we are recording. Everything is at 100% plugged in.
Yes,
Okay.
All right, so in a small town, Jason Aldean. Here we go.
First time.
Listen to the words.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town.
All right. So seeing the video, it's showing...
I didn't even watch the video.
Yeah. But watching the video, it's showing pictures of all the peaceful protests.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you've got all this controversy going with everyone saying that he's talking specifically, I can't say it with dip in my mouth correctly, but specifically about one culture.
One group of people.
Yeah. Every video I've seen in the last 10 years, the only people that spit in a cop's face are white folks. I don't see black folks doing
White
that.
privilege.
Yeah, it's because they're privileged. Burning the flag, predominantly white folks. You know, these woke fucking liberals. What else did it say? Sucker punch someone on a sidewalk. That was
Carjackings.
carjackings.
Something that happens everywhere all the time.
Holding up a liquor store owner. They're saying that all this is, biased towards one culture.
Mhm.
All right, well, first of all, if you're claiming that shit for your culture, there's a problem in itself.
If the mindset goes there, you already know what you're thinking. You've confirmed what your thoughts are on where that's going.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like you got this one video on TikTok is blown the fuck up, and it's just she looks like a fucking Karen liberal.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
You seen her? She's looks like she's mixed, and she is just nonstop. And it's like, you know who he's talking about. You know he's talking about. Blah,
And
blah,
if you
blah.
follow me, you already know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, and it's like, this goes back to the sundown towns. No, it's just, he's talking about shit from 3 years ago. I haven't heard of a sundown town in 20-something fucking years.
What is Sundown Town?
You really don't know?
I may have, but maybe I've never heard of it that way.
The old saying is, don't let the sun set on your black ass in this town.
Mm-mm.
You've never heard of that?
Never heard that.
So basically, when sun goes down, you better be out of our town.
Mm.
And it was a very strong thing. The last town that I've ever heard of that around us was Cumming, city of Cumming. Used to have that spray painted on their "Welcome to Cumming" sign, and it was spray painted on "Don't let the sun set on your black ass."
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I've
pretty
never seen that.
fucked up.
Never
But-
seen it or heard of it.
Yeah, I did. I seen it by mistake. Long story short, I was going to visit someone who transferred to city of Cumming, and when I was pulling up, driving into the town, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I grew up, and the people I hung out were predominantly black folks. So for me to see that, it was a culture shock for me, for sure. And it was like, I don't want to be around this place because I don't believe in that
They
shit.
must be sold out of bed sheets around here.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, yeah. So, and that's what she keeps referring to by his song as Sundown Town. He's talking about everything that's happened in the last couple of years. So I just think it's fucked up and stupid, and I don't know. Everyone wants to pull the strings at Jim Crow era and things shortly after that, and I don't know. The world's changed, man, and everyone keeps trying to go to this fucking narrative. But so, anyways, so you heard unlock your phone. You heard that part. Here's the hook of the song.
See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me.
All right, so that was the hook. I stopped it late. But try that in a small town. I bet you won't. I recommend you don't, and I bet you won't. Try that in a small town. See how far down the road you get. He's just talking about the whole good old boy mentality, but it's got nothing.
And it ain't the good old boy mentality of fucking
No.
whites, blacks, and all that
no.
bullshit.
It's just
the
country folks,
yeah, it's simple living, simple-minded community.
hardworking.
Yeah, and
just red, white, and blue Americans, not.
so I've had this
black or
discussion
white.
with people, friends, neighbors, and things like that. More or less with my father-in-law, since I'm around him so much, because he's my business partner. And when all this rioting and stuff was going on, we said the same thing, because I remember you probably heard him say, it's like, oh, did you hear they said they're coming to Dallas, that they're going to bring this protest to Dallas? I'm like, well, let them come protest. I don't give a shit. As long as they ain't tearing nothing up.
Yep.
Let them bring their signs, bring TV.
And they did, and it was very cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, I was like, fucking,
because they were in a small
they
town.
want to voice their opinion, let them do it. I said, when they start destroying the stuff that is in my community, no.
Right.
I have zero patience for that.
Same thing with Cartersville.
And that is the same. I think me and Sean are on definitely the same. I know we are on the same page. We don't care if you want to come out and do your thing, and whatever opinion you might have, you are completely entitled
That's the
to
whole
it.
point of this fucking country.
I was like, do your thing. I said, but don't come over here and start fucking burning shit down, destroying property and stuff like that. No, I'm sorry. I I am not going to put up with that 1 second.
No.
Not in my direct community. That's why I've had plenty of front porch sitting conversations about if that shit does happen, I will be showing up.
Yeah.
If they want to do that in Atlanta and fucking riot and all that
Billy
bullshit,
Badass over here.
no, it's not that.
No,
it's
I
just,
know. I feel you.
it's stupid. I'm like, no. I said, I'm not gonna go down there and fucking get on a rooftop and start shooting people. I'm not doing nothing like that.
Just go down the street like Kyle
I'm gonna
Rittenhouse.
stop. Yeah. I'm gonna do my best to try to stop it.
Have you seen the memes about that?
Yeah.
I remember that one time they tried it in a small town. It's a picture of Kyle with a fucking arrow.
Right. But no, I'm not gonna go down there and fucking be Billy Badass like you mentioned. It's just I'm gonna try to stop it the best I can.
Yeah.
And people that value their community are gonna do the same thing.
Right.
And country folk and older folk
Have
a
that
whole lot
mentality.
less patience than I do. I promise you.
Yeah, but they have that mentality of take care of your community. And then you go to the city of Atlanta.
We value where we live.
Yeah.
And this is why we live here.
Well, it's like something as simple as, I've gotten in arguments at stop signs. I got in one fucking argument at a stop sign with some bitch. Because we're driving down the road and she just, like a to-go box, she just threw the whole fucking thing out her window. That infuriated me. One, we're going down the road. Guess where that ends up? In someone's yard. Do I know that person? No. But it ends up in their yard. Guess what? They're going to have to clean it up. So because this fat, lazy bitch is fucking, just doesn't give a fuck about her community, or she's not from around here, she just did that. So
It's usually pure laziness. I've done it before, unfortunately.
I have when I was young.
Yeah, when I was
But
younger.
now I
Right,
don't
right,
put
right.
up with that shit. So we pulled up to the stop sign, and I stopped and I got out and I'm like, "Hey, you dropped something back there." Oh yeah, and I'm like, "No, you fucking lazy." Nah, she started cussing me. I never once cussed her because I had it on the dash cam, and she's going off, and I'm like, "I ain't cussed you yet, woman." I said, "But you need to go back and pick that crap up." I said, "Because that's crappy." And Charlene's like, get in the car. And I was like, man, fuck this bitch. And, yeah, so it was like, I did it on behalf of whoever. You know what I mean? And it looks like shit, Perfect example when we went to Germany 10 years ago. We flew to Germany, did a layover in New York. We came home, and first thing I did was get off the plane, go outside, smoke a cigarette. And when I did, there's just piles of cigarette butts everywhere outside, trash. It was so disgusting coming from a place where people value their community, take care of their community. You didn't see one branch on a tree line down because they would go out there and clean it up. It's not their property, but it surrounds their property.
And I don't think it's necessarily 100% like they value their community, which I'm sure they do. It's upbringing. It's
Right.
what they know is a standard.
Right. And so we come here and I walk outside and it's just garbage. It smells nasty, looks nasty. So it was just like that, going from living near Atlanta, metro Atlanta area, and then moving out here to Redneckville, so to speak. A big difference.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I moved this way and to raise my kids in a small town. Because fuck that. So here, let's play this some more. Here's After the Hook.
They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
And he says, I recommend you don't. So it's not like he's promoting violence. He's promoting, come fuck around and find out theory. He specifically says, I recommend you don't. But try that shit in a small town, you're going to fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Essentially. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, but the thing is, it speaks so true to people that do have the same mindset that we do. I said it has nothing to do with race. I said
No.
I was like, are there only black people in cities and only white
Yeah.
people outside the city? Is that how this works?
Yeah.
Do we have segregation still?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's how exactly how it works, and that's how we're gonna paint our picture.
Yeah, but that's the way some people are trying to paint it, and
Yeah.
like that chick,
People have that mindset.
and she's saying, who predominantly lives in cities, and who this and who that, and it's like, well, first of all, it depends on what city you're talking about, but second of all, are you claiming that only black folks does all this kind of shit? Because if you are, that's fucked up, and you need to look inside your culture, and y'all need to fix some shit.
Right. And it
If
looks
that's
like
the case,
there's clips inside on the music video of riding, fucking, everything he's mentioning, everything we've all seen across the news over the last 5+ years.
Yeah.
And what is predominantly in those media coverage? What race is there? Predominantly black people. Is it not?
No.
Predominantly. Rioting, burning down their own cities and communities.
I mean, that was
The media coverage is
the media coverage.
correct.
But seeing all the people's cell phones and shit, there were so many woke white liberals there.
Oh, yes.
And they were inciting
That's
90% of it.
Antifa in the background with
Right.
fucking face mask and hiding behind everything.
Right.
That's that.
Starting everything,
Inciting
poking
it,
the bear.
But it, we could break
But
it
the
down.
coverage, yes. The coverage was
is predominantly black.
Yeah, it was.
And then, they steer as like, oh, they're protesting. Oh, if that's a
Peaceful protesting.
that's protesting. I said, well, we need to rewrite that.
Well, then I'm fucking Adolf Hitler. Never mind. So, we'll get into that in a minute.
But no, that's what the general media coverage is people burning down their own communities.
Yeah.
And then they're complaining about equal rights. I said, but what are they? I honestly want to know, what do they think they're gaining by doing this? Destroying what, restaurants, businesses, and so on. I think they're burning these down. What are they accomplishing besides having notoriety?
And 85% of it
coverage?
was black owned.
And it's like, hey, we're doing this so we do get the coverage, but I think it's an oxymoron because,
You're getting
what are they
negative
gaining?
light. Nothing.
What are they going to gain?
Nothing. It was just segregation. That was all it was. That was the whole point of it.
So are you listening some more?
Yeah.
Full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town.
I think guitar chorus.
It reminded me of something. I don't know what.
In a small town.
But no, this is all gotten blown out of proportion once again.
Oh, bad. I mean, but,
Everybody's running with it.
And I'm pretty sure by the sounds of it and the looks of it, he probably wrote this 3 years ago. He probably wrote this when everything was fucking going on. And they were like, now is not the time to release this. Waited a few years, released it, and here we are, right back to step
I'm
one.
going to go on a conspiracy theory. All this stuff is released in a fashion that is distracting to society in general.
Oh.
A few weeks ago, we had a fucking bunch of rich people disappear on a sub.
Mm-hmm.
And, that grabbed everybody's attention. There was something shortly after that, I forgot what it was. And now we have this. It's every other week we have something new to outrage society.
Yeah, yep.
And it's orchestrated, I believe, in some sort of way.
Yeah, we got to keep everything off of the Biden family right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, because there's so much shit that's came to light with that.
It's a two-tier system, buddy. Has been for
us and them.
Mm-hmm.
Us as in all of us. Anyone listening to this motherfucker is us.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's them.
Nobody with real actual power.
No, we're not on their level.
Mm-mm.
But, I don't know. It's fucked up.
Yeah, but no, it's been getting way too much coverage. My algorithm on YouTube's full of it, and I was like, this is just silly. I said, people are just running with it, and of course everybody's being attached to it. I really wasn't even going to bring it up because I was going to talk about it briefly just because I thought it was silly that people are consumed with it, and I'm like, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I said, I'm not going to soak on it. I said you can't change people's ideas and mindsets.
I don't give a fuck to the point of, getting online and making videos and like that one chick did and all that shit, or having a rebuttal to her, which, thousands of people have done.
I'm sure. Yeah, probably millions because she's been blasted all over YouTube.
But the thing is this is what our society is today, is simply that you got one person that goes far left or far right, and then everybody on the other side has a rebuttal. Shit goes viral. And negativity is what goes viral nowadays. And everyone blows shit way out of proportion. There's going to be so many people on the far left that's going to watch her video and go, oh my God, she's right. And then there's going to be so many people on the far right that go, this bitch is crazy. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's so much that can be said about the video and the way it can be taken. But try to look at it in the most simple form. Take it simply, right? Don't come to my town and fuck my shit up.
Yeah. Don't try that shit in my town. Because you fuck around, you'll find out.
Yeah.
So.
But we steer. No, we didn't steer, of course. But no, we covered that. There were some other things that I wanted to cover. And I had it.
First, let's talk about Zephyr. And.
Yeah.
Down! Zephyr's dog is angry.
Hey. Give him a Jubon.
Oh, gosh. All right, so.
Sean's rocking the stash.
Yeah. So.
Anyways.
I didn't either.
Go ahead.
There was, again, social media, TikTok. There's a dude selling hats, right? And I'm not going to plug his company because whatever. But he's not a sponsor yet. But he's selling hats and he has a mustache. And, it's whatever. It's nothing like this. But someone comments on his video. He's selling hats, dude. And they're like, that mustache.
Like just ball caps?
Yeah. But I mean, with custom little,
Embroidery.
Not embroidery. It's lasered on a piece of leather, and then the leather's stuck to the hat. But, anyways, someone's like, that mustache has me feeling some kind of way. I don't know what they were trying to insinuate, but obviously it was fucking negative. It has nothing to do with Buddy's business. Like, what in the fuck does his personal appearance have to do with? So I replied to that comment, and I shaved this. And I was like, so what exactly are you trying to say? How does the mustache, And I'm just being a dumbass. Mm-hmm. Well, then people start, like, commenting, look at this guy, Holocaust in the front, Holocaust in the back. And just all kinds of funny shit. So I've made several videos talking to your sister, and your sister was born in Germany.
Mm-hmm. She was part of the Reich.
Yeah. Your grandma was alive when that shit took place.
She was about 10 years old.
And your mom has heard horror stories of it, and she doesn't like any of these kind of jokes.
She doesn't even like talking about it in general.
No.
There's a lot of stigma behind it with her, and I don't know exactly what it is because I can't get it out of her, but I just leave it be.
Yeah. But, it's lighthearted joking, and I was just doing it to go as hardcore as I can towards that person's comment because they were being a fucking asshat. And obviously everyone knows I just act an ass on TikTok. But yeah, and then more and more comments, and so I've done about 5 or 6 videos with this shit now. And the last one I did was yesterday. All right, I have a gender reveal party tomorrow to go to. Should I leave it or shave it? Y'all tell me. And for my next grandchild, holy shit, I'm getting old. Cameron calls me and was like, Carla just seen your video. My daughter-in-law. She thinks you should rock it. I'm like, there's no way. If I showed up to the anywhere with this and your mom was in the fucking room, she would flip her
I'd
shit.
be just curious to see how long it goes before she says something.
Oh man, she would get so butthurt.
I don't know.
I think she would.
I think she would, but I don't think she'd make a deal out of it.
But then
She'd probably laugh, like, you're so stupid.
I don't think she would laugh at all.
I think she would.
Not with, especially like you said, you've tried to get,
just
some
general information.
right, and she won't even talk about it.
Right.
So if she's seen this, I don't know.
I think she was tied up with the party. I think there's some heritage there.
We just got canceled.
It's okay.
Oh man.
And I was talking about that yesterday to some people.
What, getting canceled?
Yeah. And
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, we say stuff all the time. Like, we're talking about words that get triggered on YouTube and all this other stuff. And I was like, we say that stuff on our channel, and we specifically say it just so we could, maybe the algorithm or their AI shit will catch on to it, and be like, okay, flag this video and actually have a real person listen to it for a brief second, like whatever the snippet is.
Yeah.
Then actually, like, oh, you got denied. And I was like, I'm waiting for it, but I was like, we don't have the traction. I said, we're just not big enough. They don't give a fuck.
Well, it's not just that. Like we actually started to gain traction, and then we got busy as fuck. Yeah. I completely did. I don't even know what your schedule was throughout those couple of months because we just didn't talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was stupid busy. Mm-hmm. So.
And we finally, I don't know if we've necessarily calmed down, but we finally broke it down to where like we need to stay on top of it because. Yeah. Not that this is a business for us.
Because it's closing up too much, and we're not leaving it. Oh, what were you talking about?
This isn't a business for us, and it's staying on top of it and just keeping it going, keeping content going. And me and Sean joked about it briefly. I was like, and I told him, I was like, this is subconsciously. I said I kind of started this as a therapy for myself because I've recently started therapy. And this is something that, I started roughly, okay.
There's the end.
That's a wrap. But no, I started this as, subconsciously as therapy for myself, not really thinking about it. But after I was doing this for a while, I was like, this is kind of helpful for me, just talking in general, talking things through, talking to you. And I said, you're my second therapist, or actually my first therapist. I said, and now I have a legitimate therapist. That doesn't flicker beam like that. But no, I started therapy. Obviously, it's taking a wide left turn from Jason Aldean talking about some personal shit. But I was just thinking about it. But now we were going from being canceled and all that shit and no traction. And I was like, we're gonna say shit that's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But therapy is one of them that I started recently, and it's super taboo. And my therapist actually listened to our episode about mental health.
No shit.
I shared it with her.
And
I haven't had a chance. Well, I have had a chance. I just haven't. I wanted to ask her what she got out of it and what does she read from that I haven't.
She's gonna be like, you don't need to hang out with that Sean motherfucker no more. He's got issues. Yeah, tell him to call me.
Yeah. He needs like a padded room. With,
Oh man.
But no, I've been meaning to ask her. I was like, "What have you gathered out of that video?" Because I told her, I said, I feel like I divulged more, and I didn't. Did we make that episode 2 parts?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I realized that after I shared it to her, and it's, at the end of the link, it was like part 2 somewhere was built into it. And I was like, we made it 2 parts. I don't remember. That was a while ago, obviously.
Well, actually, it was 2 episodes. We did one. The first go round, I think it was like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And then the second one was 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. And seeing that.
But it was in one sitting, correct?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay, I thought it was.
No, we picked back up a week later.
Okay.
And just kind of talked about
I don't remember
update
that.
Or whatever the fuck. But yeah, we did 2 parts.
Okay.
So, 2 different sessions.
Yeah. So I was gonna take a minute, if you don't mind. I was gonna go back on the whole mental health shit and all that crap.
if I don't mind.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
No. Just fucking. We go from one extreme to the next. But no,
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to bring it up, and we
Yep.
haven't discussed me talking about it at all.
All right.
Like we have, very, very, very briefly, just saying, hey, me and Sean have talked. I've told he's 100% up to date of everything that's going on in my life for the most part, and that's why I say Sean is my first therapist or my second. However
That's
you look
why
at
you
it.
have so many problems.
That's why I have so many problems. The, the amount of good information I've received from him has helped me so well. I had to get a second one. But no.
Go ahead. Talk to the Fuhrer.
Is Mein Kampf coming out too?
Alles gut.
Second version?
Ja.
Yeah, alles gut.
Alles gut.
But no,
Könnten Sie?
yeah.
Haben Sie Zigaretten?
So going
Right.
back to the old episodes, we talked about it, and we talked about our issues, your past issues, or maybe even possibly current also, and my issues and things that have happened. I went through a good dry spell as far as mentally being sound, from the beginning of the year till we'll say 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And up to that point, I was better, in a better mindset, better everything I felt like. And boy, did that take a fucking turn. And when I say a turn,
Sie turn left here.
yeah, your tom was fucking way out of whack. At least
Tom
mine
Tom,
was.
motherfucker. That's old shit right there.
But no, I started falling back in this fucking canyon that was deeper than it's been before. And I knew where I was going because it was a trend, because I was there last year. And that trend, that canyon had plenty of time to get deeper in the meantime. And I fell deep down into it, and it fucking hurt when I was in it. And I ignored it. I ignored it. Because that's what I do. I'm an expert ignorer. And I was fucked up with it. And there's a lot of reasoning behind where I was at mentally and everything. A lot of it was my own fault, not addressing those issues with myself, with family and so on, and all kinds of stuff. And what I'm getting around to is therapy, which is a taboo thing.
Yep.
In general, especially for guys.
Yep.
We both know that. And holy fuck, just in the short amount of time, I think I'm on week 4 now, I think.
Yeah. Right out of a month.
Yeah, right at a month. I had 4 sessions. BetterHelp.com, not sponsored, not at anything. The reason I went there is because I had an episode over like a 3-day period while I was working on my house. I think my exhaustion from working on the house, business, family life, in general, fucking got me in this pit, deep down, dark, super dark inside me. And I was to the point where I wasn't caring about anything. Business was flaking off. Relationships with my family were flaking off. And I'm sure you probably picked up on that shit too. We were communicating less in that time period. You were busy also. And I keep shit to myself. I still do. But I'm working on being better about that. Addressing those issues with myself, acknowledging it more than anything.
Yeah.
Acknowledgement is what works for me, is acknowledging that there is a problem somewhere.
Yeah.
But no. So I was working on the house. Me and the wife have been fucking just killing ourselves to get the house to the next step, the next level, construction phase. And I blew a gasket. I blew a gasket like I've never blown before. And it was a slow release of that gasket blowing. And it just built up for about a 3-day period. And I've had a lot of time to think about it, of what led up to that. And there's a lot of factors, more factors than I could fucking remember or name. But a lot of it is being aware of myself as a setup for myself for failure. And not in a failure of a sense of, it's a failure of a sense of being I'm trying to figure out words. So I've thought about it on how I would want to explain it to the listeners. I'm going kind of blank on it right now.
Setting an unrealistic goal and not being able to meet that goal, and problems arising during that time of, or that phase of what you were trying to get done.
Yeah, like execution was,
Yeah.
execution wasn't happening
Right.
to the extent where my expectations were.
But also, too, I mean, at that time, you're doing something you've never done before. I've never done it before in construction. And you're watching videos, and generally, dudes, guys, we're wired to where we can watch a video and go, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And
I could build a rocket ship.
you, right. I can build this submarine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's test it out.
Right.
So, but we are the type that we can watch a video or something, and you and myself are handyman-ish enough,
Mechanically inclined
enough to where we feel like, I mean, the worst thing we can do is just completely not get it right, but we'll generally have some type of, we'll be on track to a point of it's at least okay. But your controlling mindset and mine, OCD, whatever you want to call it, wasn't panning out.
No.
And
none of it was.
right. So you were losing your shit because everything was messing up.
Right.
That you were trying for the first time with no help, no guidance besides YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And
doing lots of reading and lots of watching and doing I'm not. Yes, I can do it, but I'm not a guy to watch per se one video and be like, oh, I could do that.
Right.
And
you research more than
I window shop for the longest time to see if this is something I can actually grasp that's worth my time, kind of deal.
And I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, one video, I could pretty much get the gist of that. Mm-hmm. That's me. And so, I don't read any instructions.
And what we're talking about is I've grinded and sealed my floors in my house after the concrete was poured. Yeah. And I shopped around, thought about paying someone, and then I got a price on it. I was like, I can't afford that. Yeah. I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like, okay, well, I could probably rent the equipment, do the research, find out what I needed, yada, yada, yada. And it was still going to be a pretty penny to do it myself. And I was like, you know what? I said, I'm up for it. I'm a young, strapping man. I got the energy.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. And my wife was going to help me, and we're going to knock this shit out. So we spent X amount of dollars, got the equipment, and got the materials, got all this other shit. And that's where everything started.
Yeah.
Equipment had issues. It was fucking brutally hot. And I was already exerted. I've been exerted since last year. Mentally, physically, all of the above. And I pushed through it. This is something I've always done. Fucking, I'm tired, you do it too. Most people that have to provide do it. They just push through it.
Yeah.
And we push. I found my breaking point. I did. And it hurt to admit it to myself. And when it happened, it was so overwhelming. Like, obviously, I'm kind of tearing up now thinking about it. And when it happened, I had no control over my emotions. I had no control over what I said, my actions, nothing. It was so scary.
Yeah. That's a hard pill to swallow, man.
And this went on for about 3 days. And I kept pushing through it. I was like, it's just a bad day. I'm in a bad mood. That's all it is. Something just didn't go my way. And I'm throwing a fucking hissy fit out loud for my, wife to see. And we've all have our hissy fits from time to time. But mine were exponentially much bigger.
Yeah.
And hateful. And negative and putting it out to my family, and I had no control over it, and it fucking hurt. And you don't notice that until after you've calmed down, because you have those emotions running through you. And so by day 3, I was kind of emotionally distraught, and it's hard to put words on it, but that's the easiest way to explain it. And I was sitting in my shop. My wife and I come in there. And I'm trying to explain to her, apologizing in my own way, not necessarily saying sorry. But I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. And she's like, do something. You gotta do something, babe. Like, she didn't know what to say. She didn't know what the fuck I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And there's a lot of things that led up to this conversation. It was so simple. She's like, you have to do something. And it doesn't sound like an advertisement. I was like, the first thing that came to mind, I was like, I had listened to a lot of podcasts, and BetterHelp. I've heard it so many times. That's the first thing that came to mind. So the advertising's working on their end, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what to do. So I jumped on my phone immediately after. I was like, my first thought that ran through my head, and I haven't even told Misty this. Was, if I don't straighten up, she's gonna leave. And that thought process hurt, or that thought hurt. I was like, if I don't straighten up and figure out what's going on inside of me, I've got to do what I can to save this, what I have. And that's what gave me the knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, okay, I've got to do something. And I got on BetterHelp.com, download the app, answer, all this other stuff. It's a wide assortment of stuff that you have access to through it. And I took the quizzes, the little quizzes they have to try to line you up with a therapist and all that stuff.
Did it ask for penis size?
Yeah. They didn't have a unit measure small enough for me.
Yeah.
But no, anxiety test was one of them, and this, that, and the other. And I kind of, they give you the general results, like the scales, like from 1 to 20 or some shit, and I'm like 19.9 or some shit. And I was like, yeah, at this point in time, I'm fucking, my brain is fucking, a couple fuses have blown.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, I don't know, it's getting overloaded with sensories that I've never felt before and all kinds of shit. It was overwhelming. Overwhelming is not a word for it. I don't know if they have a word for how I felt. Like, I really don't. And I did it. I signed up. And about 2 days later, about 48 hours, 24, 48 hours later, I got an email, got set up with someone, and it's like, do you want to do in-face, or not in-face, but in-person chat or video and shit like that. And I was like, I'm a person that likes to make eye contact and get my point across, because I think body language explains a lot, fills in the blanks, fills in the gray area that you don't explain. And so I set it up, and I had my first session, and it was the anxiety I had like 24 hours, 48 hours leading up to it, because there was a couple days out from there. I was so anxious. Once again, I was still
out of your element.
Yeah, I was
something you're not in control of.
I was fucked up.
Yeah,
simplest way to explain it. And I was like anxious. Like, I was like, I don't know what to fucking say. I don't know what to fucking do. It's nothing I've ever done before. I don't know how to express myself. And I was like, this is someone that doesn't even fucking know me, and I'm about to fucking divulge my problems.
Right.
It's like finding like a homeless person, not a homeless person, but a random stranger. I'm like, hey, how are you? Oh, okay. Well, I'm James. Oh, let me tell you my fucking life story real quick.
Yeah.
In a sense. And it's very awkward.
And you don't know where to begin. You don't know where to start.
Right. And I was anxious because I'm a control freak by nature. Not by nature, but by my, my
personality.
And I found out the session's only like 30, 45 to an hour long, depending on how you set it up.
And then you start in the whole cynical mindset of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is bullshit. I can't.
Yeah, I was like, I can't get my point across in that amount of time.
Right. I'm going to talk in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
we talked briefly before that.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
But I'm saying right before that session we talked, and you were like, this is money. They're just,
Right.
whatever, and I'm not going to be able to fucking get to
Is it a gimmick?
Right. Get to the real gist of it, and she's going to give me some bullshit vague, whatever, or they.
Because I had this mindset of, we've all watched TV shows or movies where people go sit down, start by, childhood.
Yeah.
And work their way up.
Tell me about the mother and the father.
Yeah. You start from day one, if you want to call it that, to present day.
Right.
And then they start unpacking it.
Right.
That was my theory. That's what I think a lot of people's theory is on therapy.
Right.
Was my mindset was I have to give you every step of my life in a sense of from start to finish. Right. So you have a good understanding of who I am and what I'm about and so on. And I was like, that's fucking me up. I was like, I don't think she's gonna understand me. Like Sean said, I'll be cynical as fuck. I was like, I had so much doubt before, like within a couple hours or so before I even got onto that video call with her. And I was like, I'm not gonna get anything out of this. I said, but I told the wife I was gonna try, and that's all I cared about was trying. Trying is the first fucking step.
Admitting,
yes.
Yeah.
But
welcome to AA,
but my next step was, just trying it out and see where it goes. And right now I'm at week 4. And we have not made great gains, but the gains we have made have been great. I can think is the best way to put it.
Yep.
How long will I do this? I have no idea. So far, it's worked well for me. I think you could probably say that, honestly.
Yeah. And I'm sure it doesn't help that she's pretty, and every time you're in a video chat, you're like, oh, man, this is so fucked up. So I go to do this as a joke, and there's a big picture of Misty. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Oh, that made it even funnier.
Yeah.
Like,
me and Sean have made jokes about.
But now there's video evidence of me fucking rubbing one out to a picture of Misty.
That's probably not the first time. We all both know that.
It's the third.
I
swear.
But
Ein, zwei, drei. No.
You're dry. But no.
Sie Deutschland, bitch.
So I could honestly say, and it may not work for everybody, but for me, and being as cynical and critical of my own self and therapy being a joke and thinking it's just a fucking
taboo,
joke kind of deal,
and a money scheme, and,
right?
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yep.
Works for me.
Yep.
So far, it has. It's improved my quality of life, and that is what I'm going for, and the quality of everybody around me. I believe.
Yeah.
That I have direct contact with, because since then, I believe my communication skills have gotten better because I've made it to a point to communicate with people. Main one being my wife. My kids, of course.
I'm not the main one. Oh my gosh.
And me and my brother have, who we've had our issues in the past, and most people that are in our family are aware of. My brother, the oldest one out of the 3 of us, we've had many issues in our adult lives with each other, and we're at a point in our lives where he's also going through some stuff, and
y'all have had some great conversations.
Yes, we had the longest physical conversation I've ever had with my brother was over the phone, sporadically, on was it Thursday or Wednesday of this past week?
Yeah.
And we unpacked a lot. I said some things that I been holding back from him. Not necessarily. I've been avoiding that because we were both stubborn fucking idiots. and we have tempers. And I've said a lot to him, and we unpacked a lot. We said a lot of stuff that we've been meaning to say to each other. We're both fucking crying on the phone.
Yeah.
We've never done that ever,
Yeah.
and it was good crying.
Yeah.
It wasn't negative. It was good crying because we were both realizing that we were there for each other.
Yeah. It's good, man. It's good. The last month has been a big turn to the right, not Z left. uh, and I think this has been a good outlet for both of us. But like you said, you think subconsciously you kind of started this for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that it doesn't necessarily have to be this, doesn't necessarily have to be this, but
Right.
just doing it in general
Right.
is a help for anyone, and that's it goes back to the whole dumb shit of, first step of AA is realize you have a problem. Well, not AA, but anything.
Yeah.
First step is realizing there's a problem. Second
Right.
step is addressing the problem. Third step is talking about the problem. That's the way it goes with anything in life.
Right.
And
And it sounds very, very simple.
it does. And like you
And
said,
it is very, very simple.
but it's hard to
It's-
execute.
Correct.
Very hard, especially if you're the person.
Mhm.
So, kind of like you were saying after your second session, I think she sent you some information, and you were like, "It's crazy. I know this shit.
Yep.
I already know this shit, but I'm not doing what I know." And that goes along with any of us. You know what I mean? It's like I'll tell my kids to do this because this is the right way to do it. I'll give them the great, path or the great advice or the great whatever. Am I doing that all the time? Fuck no. Same thing. And
Right.
and sometimes it's like I don't even think that I'm not doing that, but I'm telling my kids to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of the same scenario.
Right.
So,
And it's like you said, it's like like you mentioned, I was reading through some of the literature and videos and stuff she sent me, just to review and take in and see what I get out of it. And I was going through all this, and like you said, I was like, I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff. I was like, I'm a fairly positive person on a regular basis. And I was like, what am I doing? I was like, if I know all this, as long as I'm not, being super critical of myself, I said, what am I missing? I said, if I know all this stuff, I was like, I'm not practicing it. And that's the key.
yeah.
I was like, you can know everything in the fucking world. You can know the cure to cancer. But if you don't put it out in the world, it's not going to do anything.
Or how to have perfect credit.
Mm.
Or, how to be a millionaire. Or, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing.
Yeah. And I realized, and me and you were in the car on the way to go pick up the dogs, and I told you, I was like, I knew all this stuff. I said, but I'm not practicing it, and I haven't practiced it in a very, very long time. And I don't have an exact time frame of when I stopped. I said, but I stopped, and I said that made me realize that me physically reading it and me asking myself, why am I not able to use this? I was like, because I don't practice, I don't put it to use, I don't do anything with it. I just know it.
Yeah.
And that made me realize a lot. And that was a pill I swallowed for myself. I'm like, wow. I said, it's so weird that I had to physically ask myself a question. And it sounds stupid, right? It's the simplest thing.
It sounds stupid.
No, but it sounds dumb when you think you know something. But you have to physically ask yourself if you actually do.
Yeah.
And you do know it,
Right.
but if you don't do nothing with it,
Right.
what's
then
the
it's
value of
wasted.
it?
Right. You're wasting it.
Mm-hmm. And that really helped me realize it. And as the sessions progressed, like we talked about this past session, we went over questions and stuff like that, communication issues, and we unpacked a lot. And we got into the sticks and stones of my marriage and our issues that we've had in the past and current modern day issues. And a lot of it falls back on communication.
James doesn't tell Misty he wants a bigger pig.
Yeah.
She keeps using the little one. James is unsatisfied.
And so as soon as I tell her, once Amazon shows up with Prime Day,
I want the bigger pig.
yeah,
Oh.
and we started unpacking a lot. And
James is
once
asked
again,
to start.
one of those things popped in my head. I said, I know what the problem is, but I'm not doing nothing with the information I have to fix it. And becoming self-aware is the simplest way to put it, I think. And practicing it. And I'm working on it, and I'm gonna work through it, and hopefully I'll be a better. I think I'll be a better person after I'm out of it.
So,
And it's not gonna be tomorrow. It's not gonna be the next day, but it's gonna be the future coming
so
soon to a
so-
theater near you.
That kind of reminds me, talking back on the previous episode when I said I had my complete shutdown, and same thing. My epiphany was your sister coming and well, she didn't come to me. She wrote me a letter. And when I read that, that was mine. It was like, holy shit, I'm going to lose everything I know, my whole life, my wife and kids. I'm going to lose all of this because of me not being the person I am. You know what I mean? Me being down in this hole and just looking up. And it's like, I don't know. It's like you're on the other side of a glass wall, just watching everything take place, but you're not doing nothing about it. It's like you're just sitting back and idle. And, or I was, anyways, at that time. And it was weird. It was fucked up. But the epiphany was, I need to bust through that, get back into, the person I am, and be the person that, she married, and be the father that the kids deserved and need. I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, but kind of the same thing. Took my better half to kind of, nail it home for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like thinking about that shit.
Yeah, I know. I know. But no, and during all this time, I've divulged that I've been, and the easiest way to explain is I've been, my superpower was stolen.
Yeah.
And not superpowers, I got a, cock that shoots laser beams out or anything. It's just a superpower of.
Yes, he does. It's fucking this big.
And that's the phrase I used with my therapist. I said, a lot of this
He
stuff.
talks to his therapist about his cock. His super powerful cock.
It's the.
You heard that, Misty?
Yeah. And I told her, I said, a lot of this has stemmed from COVID. And we won't go dive deep on COVID, but COVID stole a lot from me. I feel like, and it's a lot of things I can't explain, but overall, it took my quality of life away.
But it did that for so many people.
It did, and for me, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and since I explained that to her, she obviously is not a physician, so she can't say much. She said, all I can suggest is go get blood work done. And she real faintly says she's seen long-term issues from COVID, more or less, that may have to be investigated further by, physician.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So I procrastinated, and I finally got on the ball of going to get blood work done. And this just happened recently, so Sean's familiar with it. Try to go get blood work done. Call my physician I haven't seen since 2019, and it's currently 2023.
And that was a shit show.
Yeah.
You're going to go down a rabbit hole.
Maybe. I want to go down your rabbit hole. The rabbit hole.
Ah, Zephyr is happy. Did I tell you motherfuckers at work were calling me that over the radio?
What? If you're
Zephyr. How about it, Zephyr? Will you come to aisle 8?
yeah, we have cleanup on Zyle 8.
Yeah, I about fucked that up. Yeah. So.
But no, so long story short, I try to get blood work done. Since I haven't been there in 3 years, I'm considered a new patient.
Yep.
I'm like, cool. And they're like, well, our next appointment's January. Well, it's currently July.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna work because I'm so fucked up right now. I'm
trying to get
find some traction of what might physically be happening versus what's happening in here.
Looking for a solution or
Yes.
something to blame.
I'm trying to blame everything but me.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what everybody does.
Right.
So they said no. Well, we have one in October. Well, that still ain't gonna work for me.
Oktoberfest, bitch.
Yeah. Sean's gonna be there
Yeah.
with all his peoples. We go down that hole,
Drink the Jägermeister.
and I was like, "Fuck, I can't wait this long." So I'm like, I'm getting anxious about it. I'm like, I can't go see nobody. I have no insurance. I don't have insurance. My family, nobody, kids, wife, nothing. I left that lifestyle simply because I couldn't afford it, and I still can't afford it.
Peasants.
Peasants, the poors,
Yeah, you're part of the poors.
part of the poors. Put me in the ghettos.
Dude. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hurry up.
And I'm sorry. I'm fucking still
I know. I'm just
all that shit. But anyways, so I get on my chart, which is a Wellstar thing where you could look at your information, doctors, all that crap.
Pornhub.com.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I could email her or message her through my chart. I said maybe if I address my exact issues, because I told the receptionist when I tried to book originally,
Penis pump is no longer working.
She didn't give a fuck. The receptionist, I won't say she didn't give a fuck.
She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Straight up.
She was sweet. But anyways,
Yeah.
I sent a message to my doctor, with straight cold hard facts, and about 48 hours later, I get a phone call from the receptionist, the same one I tried to talk to originally.
And-
Dr. C said that she could see you. Blah blah. Call us tomorrow because they're about to close for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I called the next morning. They're like, okay, and I'm thinking, a month out, 2 months maybe.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Can you be here at 9:30 tomorrow? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I take my Volkswagen to the doctor's, and I was there the next morning, and saw her for 30 minutes, spent $300 just to see her because
Cha-ching.
thank you Obamacare.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna go get blood work done this coming week because I had to get the whole system behind this, by the way, of me just being a person. I can't just walk into a clinic and say, hey, I want my blood done. You have to have a fucking write-up from a physician, which I think is so stupid. It's a game. It's a gimmick. It's
the same thing with going to a specialist. You can't just go
right. That's
to
understandable.
a specialist. You
Right.
have to get. Well,
I get it to a sense.
how is that understandable? It's the same thing.
So if we'll just say you think you fucking obviously if you have broken bones and
You know
stuff
how
like
many
that.
hypochondriacs are going to be having blood work done?
Yeah, but they're gonna be making money.
I mean, yeah,
gives a fuck?
but it's taking time.
I would have rather spent that $300 on that first rip and have my blood work done.
Yeah, but that's you in this situation.
I know.
The people at hand that think
they have a fucking sniffle.
right, and they're like, "Oh, I got to go.
I
get
got
blood work
COVID.
done," and they're taking an appointment away from someone who actually needs it, so a doctor can see. So I mean,
I get that aspect.
Well, so then
I do to a
then quit
point.
crying, bitch.
But the specialist thing is different.
Oh,
If you have a rash, like, oh, I need to go see a dermatologist. I need an appointment tomorrow.
right.
No, you need to go see a physician because it might just be poison oak. It might, just a general example, right?
It could be warts from the guy you just
Met at Buc-ee's.
the truck stop. No, it's Busey's.
Busey's. The Busey's.
The Busey's was good. Das, the Busey's was good. Yeah.
Yo, Busey's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let me feel the Busey.
Reach under the table.
Holy shit.
But no, the whole system's fucked up. Long story short, once again, I got my paperwork for $300. Fucking something I'm gonna photocopy and use it in about 6 months again to do blood work, so I don't have to pay her. And go to the health park and pay cash because she said if you get your blood work done here on this visit, it's gonna be
X amount
way
of
more,
dollars. Right.
way more. And I'm like, this system's so fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like it better than the shit overseas.
This is true.
I mean, because
I'm moving to Canada. I want that free healthcare.
yeah, but you gotta wait. You gotta get on a list. Like, hey, my mom said something to me about my back, and she was like, "I think you need to go get an MRI because we have degenerate whatever disc disease, some shit runs in our family." And I was like, "All right." So if we were in Canada, I would call the doctor, go and see them. They would put me on a list. 7, 12 months later, I can go and get the MRI.
Sounds like the VA.
Yeah, but versus here, I can go see the doctor. They can look at some shit, schedule it in a month or two. I can, a couple weeks, whatever. But yeah, fuck that.
But no, it's a crappy system. But
It's a crappy system, but it's better than the alternative.
all right, what country does have a great system? That's what I'm
I have
curious
no
of.
idea.
We're so sheltered from that kind of information. Like, I'm sure there's a country that probably has fucking phenomenal healthcare. There's got to be at least one. Got to be.
Yeah, it's probably in a small town somewhere.
Probably in China. We pour the rice on it.
Dude, have you watched Bert Kreischer's fucking movie?
Chrysler?
Chrysler, yeah.
Burt Chrysler?
Yeah, The Machine.
The movie? No.
I bought it.
Did you?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I supported him.
Is it funny?
Yes. Yes. You have to watch it.
That's got to be. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, he is. Storyline could have been better, but you could tell it was low budget, but it was still good.
I don't think it was low budget, though.
Okay.
They spent 3 months in Serbia.
I understand that. I understand. I'm not saying
Low budget compared to the Matrix.
Yes, low budget compared to Fast and the Furious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So low budget compared to new movies you see with
Avatar.
Right. Yeah, but no, there was millions of dollars spent on this movie for sure.
Right.
But yeah, it was rent it for $20 or buy it for 25. I was like, yeah, I'll give Bert some money.
Yeah. Give him some residuals.
Yeah. So it was funny. It was funny. So if you motherfuckers want to watch
I've been waiting for it to come out for like $5, like the budget line.
yeah, it's not gonna happen for a while, I'm sure. But y'all cannot come to my house. Just buy it yourself.
Oh, speaking of movies, we
Huh.
need to talk about a specific movie that I need to go watch.
Hmm.
I think society in general probably needs to go watch. The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of
Traction.
lots and lots, and I saw, when it first was being, shared and so on, I saw people like taking pictures of the poster at the movie theater kind of deal, and simple titles. B.J. Baldwin, who's a off-road racer, blah blah blah. People know of him. He shared it. He didn't say nothing. He didn't hashtag nothing. He says, "This is a movie I think everybody should watch."
Why?
Interesting.
Why are they not doing hashtags and all this shit?
I don't know.
It's being canceled.
I don't know. I don't know if he did it deliberately or whatever. But anyways, that was my first go at it. I was like, Sound of Freedom. I haven't even seen advertisings or nothing
No,
for it,
it's
right?
being canceled.
Right. But before I come up with that, those general ideas, I saw that. Before it was mainstream neat, people are trying to shuffle it under the carpet.
Right.
And then I saw someone else said it. And then another person. I'm like, interesting. I didn't even look it up. Like, I was like, oh, it must be a really good movie. I didn't think nothing much of it. And we're at Bunko with our other friends the other night. And someone mentioned it. And I said, hey, have you seen it? And he's like, yeah. Me and my wife went and watched it the other night. I said, what's that about? He's like, it's pretty much summarizes human trafficking. It's the best way to explain it. And what's going on and this and that. He's like, I don't want to paint a picture for you for the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I think you should watch it. That's why they summarize. I said, that's good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It keeps me the questions there. It doesn't give me a general idea beforehand. So I go
Right.
in with an open mind. And I've watched people making claims on the movie podcasts, and I was like, this is definitely something I need to watch with Misty.
Yeah.
That one, and what's the other one? The Machine. in theaters.
DOS machine.
But no, that's one of the movies I do want to go see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't take the kids, and we don't have any free time away from the kids where me and Missy could physically go do something like that. But I'm gonna try to make time to do it.
Yeah.
But I did some backtracking on it, not necessarily backtracking, but information on it. Disney held the rights on that movie, which is super strange.
Yeah.
Very, very strange that Disney held the rights for that movie for so many. I don't know the exact time frame, well over a year. This other company bought it outright, basically bought the rights from Disney, and they made the movie. At first, they weren't even going to release the movie because they thought it wouldn't do anything, and it was being shut down, probably internally from higher ups somewhere, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made it out. And now it's one of the biggest movies, I won't say of all time, but of our time right now,
Yeah.
of this year.
Definitely want to see it.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen any trailers or anything like that.
Not a single
and I don't
thing.
want to.
Nothing.
But then the only thing I've seen is people like what you're saying. And the first one I saw was Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson what?
Doing a short video talking about, hey,
Okay.
y'all need to go see this movie. This is definitely a movie. It needs to be seen.
Mhm.
And then I've seen a couple other well-known people, and it was like, And then kind of did a quick search and saw what it was about, but didn't try and watch a trailer or nothing. I don't even know if there is a trailer for it. I'm
think
sure
there
there
is.
is. But it was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the general fundamentals and all that stuff. Like if people are, I think the lack of information makes me want to watch it that much more.
Yeah. I think the fact of they're trying to cancel the shit makes me want to watch it that much more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's, probably the pieces of shit that are taken apart in it
Mm-hmm.
into actually doing those actions in real life. That's what I'm getting at. So, there was something we talked about the other day, and you said you were going to talk about today. And I said, yeah, you should. That'd be a good one.
Something personal?
No. You fucked that up.
Sorry.
It's
I think I said I was going to write it down too, and I can't
Yeah.
remember. I'm trying to
It was
jog my memory.
two things we talked about, and you said you were going to look up some more information on one of them, and then the other.
Damn it, Sean. How dare you not write it down for me?
Yeah,
It's all your fault.
I know. This is where therapy's getting James
Yeah.
and blame.
Yeah, blame game.
Yeah,
It's your fault.
yeah. God, why didn't you make enough money to pay
Zero
the bills this month?
accountability.
You little shithead. He's talking to his kids.
Yeah.
You little shithead. You should have made more money to pay the bills. God,
Exactly.
it's
No,
all
I'm,
your
I'm
fault.
trying to think. 'Cause
Now
I
you got to
remember, I
go live
remember
with
us
Uncle
saying
Sean
that.
for a week.
Yeah. By the way, he's gonna traffic you in the meantime.
Yeah. Come and see here.
You like the cookies?
Oh man.
These are sleepy cookies.
What the fuck was that? There was something. Oh no, I can't joke about that. Never mind. I'll tell you after we get off.
It's that bad, huh?
Yeah,
Must be
yeah,
good. I can't wait to
yeah.
laugh.
It's that bad, and it's really close to home,
Right.
so to speak. So I can't.
But now I'm trying to remember what it is. I don't know. I need to. And that's one thing I'm failing on is what time is it? 2:20. Missy's head's hiding the numbers.
12.
Oh, 12:20. Sorry,
Yeah.
dyslexia kicking in.
It's 21:20, James.
Yeah.
It's 21:02. Just fuck it all up.
Yeah, it's midnight.
Yeah. I guess that's good. I think we had a good one. So this week, that is only going on whatever, and this is going on the fucking website. So
I'm confused.
that's going on YouTube,
Okay.
and that's going to the website. And I've got to contact them, and I'm going to try and get the other two put on before this. So it might be like back to fucking back, like one day and then the next day, and then 2 days later it'll be this. So, but they were short. When we went to the fucking beach, we did like that 20, 30-minute session out by the pool, and then we said we were going to fuck with people on
Yeah, I
the beach.
know.
And we didn't. But
Yeah.
fuck that. We needed a break.
Yeah.
And
Like, I didn't want to push it. I was like, if Sean says something, I'm going to do it. If Sean doesn't say nothing,
I totally
I'm not
forgot.
going to push it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, I don't want to be pushy about it. I said, if it happens, I want it to happen. I was like, but I was still kind of fucked up. I was thinking about it a lot when I was at the beach. I was fucking sunburnt before I even got to the beach. I was in a bad fucking
Yeah,
mood.
das ist gut. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm on fire. Z reminds me of... never mind.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I had, and that's why I told Missy while I was down there. I was like, I had all this worked up in my head. I was like, I had all these ideas in general.
Yeah.
And leading up to us leaving, we were both so busy that we haven't made any fucking content. We haven't talked. Well, we've talked, but we haven't really talked like here.
No.
And we had so much built up on it, and I had so many ideas. I was like, we didn't discuss it. We're not ready.
Yeah.
You barely remember to even bring something.
Yeah.
And so your mind wasn't there.
Yeah, like I came down here and I started to like unplug shit, and I was looking at everything, and I was just like, nope, this.
Yeah. It's like, I'll take my phone. We're good.
Well, I took the
voice recorder.
And then a splitter, and then I thought, oh, we can just pick up 2 cheap lapel mics. That was a joke, but anyways. Oh, so next recording will be totally different. It's not going to be down here.
Okay.
So that's why I said I need you to come over early. We're moving everything to the extra room because I had another kid move out. Hell
Yay!
yeah! So we're down to 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
He sold the last kid.
on the Wayfair. We're going to hell. I heard it's hot there.
Yeah. The Saudis got money. That's all I gotta say.
So, yeah. So I'm about to go upstairs and shave this off my face. And then we're going to the gender
Z
reveal.
stash is Z gone.
Yeah. No mas.
No mas.
No mas.
Pantalones.
Oh, man. The other day at work, we're having a bathroom redone. And there were some Hispanics in there, and they're talking. And I can understand some of the shit they're saying. And
Like, he's trying to suck his dick.
they were doing tile work and whatnot. And then I was going to leave. I says, ¿Qué pasa, todos bien? And both of them motherfuckers look like they seen a ghost. They both like... I was like...
It would have been funny. It's like, they were like, we don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
And then I just walked out. I was like, holy shit. And one of the other guys was like, what'd you say? I said, hey, guys, how's it going? You know, hey, what's up? How are you doing?
How are you?
And he was like, seriously, that's what you said? And I said, yeah. I said, I bet they're going to go home and be like, hey, babe, today I had Hitler greet me in the bathroom. Holy shit.
That's funny.
In Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this motherfucker.
Bilingual. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy times.
Man, I've had some looks. Like, at the gas station,
Yeah.
they're like Hindu, Indian, something, I don't know. Motherfuckers, like, just looking at me like
They
I'm...
about to suicide bomb their own station with you in it.
Yeah. Just looking at me like I'm fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Badcock Furniture to pick some shit up for Connor in Rome. So it was like all black folks in there. Looking at
Were you
me.
clean shaven?
No.
Just like this.
Just like this. Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, I mean, like
oh,
everything
this
else
was
smooth.
Yes.
Okay.
It was right after I shaved, like a couple days ago. So it was like, yeah.
Should have had the aviators on.
I walked in.
Yeah. Where's the bathroom? I got to shit.
Scheiße. Anyways, yeah. So this is gone. Long live the stash.
Yeah.
But yeah. So before next podcast, everything's getting moved to the other room.
Cool.
So won't have this.
Oh man.
We'll have the sheets. We'll have to figure something else for a backdrop. I don't know. we'll figure it out. We'll have this little table. We got a big desk up there, so we'll have to figure things out, move it around.
That's easy enough.
Yeah. So.
And are we going right up here or all the way up to the 5th floor?
The 5th floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5th floor.
Does everything fit in a service elevator?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Maria! Pinche puta. So, yeah. So we'll move all that shit. It'll look different, but the motherfuckers that just listen to us won't be anything different.
Right.
You won't hear the fucking drain pipe.
Yeah, when someone takes a dump above our head, you won't
well,
hear it flush.
it's not even that. Anything that comes from the sink, the bathroom, it all goes into this pipe and it echoes through the pipe. So, yeah. So even when it's on the other side of the house, we hear it echoing because I live in a fucking mansion. Dick.
You would think if with all this money, you'd insulate those pipes so we don't have those
fuck that.
sound deadening everywhere. But
Shut up.
Until he makes his first million, he's not investing shit.
Yeah. So I need more people to share this podcast and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah, das ist gut.
And I'm gonna end on anybody that is interested in getting help. It has worked for me. I am thoroughly enjoying it because I'm seeing some results, very small results, but they are results in a good way. It is. Took me a second.
Yeah, the people watching got it. The people listening.
Sean stared down at his penis.
Yeah, stared at my crotch when he said very small results.
Very small results. Results will vary. Vary. Results will vary. It's roughly about $200 to $300 a month. It's not, it is a chunk of money, but it's cheaper than in person.
Yeah.
In person, I can imagine what that shit costs.
But not just that. Is it worth it?
For me, yes. Oh. Undoubtedly, yes.
All right. That's it?
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
There's no value on
the quality of life.
Right.
That you're getting in return.
It just sucks because I'm building a house.
Yeah.
Because I need every penny I can finish off.
Yeah. But yeah. It was a good show, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking. Thank you for being here.
And off to the oven.
Let's go.
Get in the oven. Oven.
All right, let me go warm up the Volkswagen. Let's go.
All right, bitches.
Bye.
Later.